Namaskaram, my dear friends, I am back again. Today's episode, I'm going to share with you all my experiences after 3 years of Shambhavi and the rest of my sadhana. So again, as usual, I want to give you guys all a list of all the sadhana that I do. There's actually some changes of the sadhana that I have been doing lately. So the very first thing when I wake up, I listen to a Vairagya song, the Guru Paduka Stotram. It's the Guru Paduka Stotram. I hope I'm not butchering the way I say it. But it's basically honoring the Guru's sandals. I think that's the Vairagya song that actually resonates to me. So that's the chant that I've picked. Next, I listen to Guru Puja, followed by my Devi Sadhana, including the Devi Dandam and Devi Stuti, followed by Bhuta Shuddhi, Surya Kriya, Surya Shakti, Yoga Asanas, Shakti Chalana Kriya, and Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya. And during the day, I do my Shunya meditation. To start with the sharing, I definitely feel so much better about myself from the last update we've had, from 2 years to 3 years. I feel an improvement in the way I live, my well-being, definitely a stronger sense of dedication towards the spiritual path. And I have experienced more grace, knowing how they look, experiencing them, maybe because I just have my eyes more open than it was before. One significant thing I've noticed though is when I do my Shunya meditation, more often than not, I do really feel that my body is separate from the me. Like when I sit, I feel like I'm floating. I feel like I don't feel my body at all. And it seems to last longer than just a few seconds. And it's a really, really nice, light feeling. I think it actually helps me sort out some concerns or issues I have in my daily living. Having an experience that I am separate from my body allows me to understand that the situations will always change and be reminded constantly that the important thing is to do what is required of the moment, not being attached to this body nor the outcome, but what is required of the moment. Next thing I noticed too is sitting in silence has become very, very enjoyable. I could sit in longer periods of time. There are moments where I no longer really feel my legs, and it doesn't bother me at all. I can sit there for a while knowing I couldn't feel my legs anymore. It's fine, really. In some minor back pain, I have also learned how to adjust my back, doing micro adjustments of my back. Maybe it's moving my spine a little bit just to have better support of each spinal section for them to be stacked properly so I could last longer sitting down in Ardha Siddhasana. Sitting in silence has given me so much joy, so much peace, and even moments of bliss. Especially when I'm wearing organic clothing, sitting down on earth. That's one of the best, I tell you. Also actually sitting in front of Devi, Sadguru, Adiyogi, and the Dhyana Linga Yantra. So much joy, I tell you. From the last update we've had, I have shared with you all that I have overcame a major addiction struggle that I've had. And it was significant, that moment. I haven't had any relapse at all since my 2nd year update. So this year, I've actually decided to tackle on hunger. Because hunger is something that I have been struggling to overcome. It's not necessarily as strong as an addiction, but when I'm hungry, I feel like hunger has a stronger power over me than my consciousness. So I've decided this year that it should be the other way around, that conscious decision should overpower my hunger. So I decided I would just start eating once a day. I know the ashram has meals twice a day, but I feel like with 2 meals a day, I still feel like hunger still somehow wins over me. So I really wanted to stick with 1 meal a day. So I've decided before starting that I was going to fast. That was successful. There was a little bit struggle involved, fasting for 24 hours. But it's not the same as it was before, where all I could think of was food. This time it was I feel the struggle. I feel my hunger trying to overpower my consciousness. But like what Sadhguru said, I just have to think of the hunger and not give into it for the next minute or two. And just think about it and do something else, or just let it go. And I think that practice really helps a lot, because the hunger is only really power as of that moment. And if you don't give in, I can still feel the hunger. But making the conscious choice of not giving into the hunger is actually really powerful. So after that first day of fasting, every single day after that, I probably have a tea and hot cocoa in the morning, and then my meal at the evening, maybe 4 or 5 p.m. And that's my meal for the day. And so far, I am really, really happy that hunger can no longer control me. I think because before that, I never really wanted to give up on hunger. I enjoyed food, baking, cooking. I enjoyed food so much to give up on it. But I really wanted to improve further on my discipline and push my limit a little bit at a time, so I chose hunger this time. And I'm really glad it wasn't so much of a struggle, it wasn't painful. It was a very, very graceful transition, I should say. And I know I've just started having 1 meal a day fairly recently, but the breakthrough was, it wasn't a struggle to start having 1 meal every single day. It was awesome. It was wonderful. Third thing I noticed too is, another thing that I constantly work on is I continue to improve on identifying karma, to untangle them, to untie them, because there's a stronger sense of knowing that I'm not the body and I'm not the mind. I could see my patterns more clearly that I used to struggle with before, especially in relationships, living with my daughter and with Brand. It was different when I was in my workplace because professional relationship seems so easy to manage than relationships I have with my family, because there's more to give. There's more sacrifices involved in dealing with family relationships, because the dynamic is more than just professional. It's just really a stronger sense of bond. It requires more care. It requires a lot more love, and definitely a lot of patience. But I am really happy that I continue to identify these karmic cycles, these tangles, these knots, and slowly unravel them and tie them. One thing I noticed too is, one thing that really sunk into was the play in this life. All the distractions, like my hobbies, my desires to include travel, shopping of course, home decoration as of this moment, or anything that just really involves some sort of a distraction, distracting me away from my spiritual progress. They're really beautiful. They're really beautiful. I guess it's just really like a conscious decision that there's so many distractions in life, and it's up to us to make it tools and use them to push us even further into our spiritual journey, making that conscious shift that anything can be a tool towards our liberation. And for my hobbies and desire, I just really enjoy them too. And while enjoying these desires, be conscious that it's okay, that it's a play in life, and just understanding that my desires, that I should use it consciously as a part of the play in this life, but not a necessity to reach the ultimate. So yes, you guys, it's been an interesting ride after 3 years. I know for everyone 3 years doesn't seem long, and I know for some 3 years seems like it's really long. But for me, this is still a baby journey. And I am more than determined to keep this going, and one day reach the ultimate. Namaskaram. So that's it. Until next time, you all. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Bye.